Hello, welcome to AM Reviews. I'm Angelina Maria. This is a podcast I created so I can pretty much talk about Celebrate Sistas. And this episode, we'll be talking about The Oval, episode 610, the complete first season of Lil Kev, as well as Sistas season 8 finale. Anyway, let's get into the episode. First thing on the docket, we're going to talk about The Oval, episode 610. Quite a few things I want to talk about. The first is the whole not Doug, my bad, y'all. Donald and Hunter whole situation where Priscilla she talks to Hunter and she's like, maybe you should talk to Donald. He's trying to see if Donald's loyal to him. This is that and the third. She brings him up there. They act like they're gonna shoot him and then drags the man across the floor, puts him in a chair, do the whole spiel, put a gun to his head, and then threaten to put him in a room with Jason. A whole mess. I just feel like it was a lot. While he asked him questions, and Donald's pretty much like, "Oh, I did everything to make you look good, Hunter. This is that and the third." And it's just like it's a lot. I just feel like it was a lot. I feel like it was a bit much. I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole episode, I feel like it was a lot and a bit much. It's just my opinion. It's just me. Next is Miss Victoria. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think she is unnecessary and useless. Like I think she rests too much on the fact that her father is whoever the heck he is. He must be a man in power, but we don't fully know who he is unless I'm missing episodes or missing something where they truly speak about who he is. He's supposed to be like this, like big, powerful man or whatever. And it's like he can't be too powerful because your grandson killed your wife, and then what did you do about that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So it's like, he's supposed to be this big time dude that everybody like fears or respects or whatever. And I think she uses that to her. That's supposed to make her who she is. And it's like, girl, please, whatever power her daddy had is waning, and her power never really existed to begin with. So it's like, it's just kind of seeing like somebody past their prime, in my opinion, when it comes to Victoria. It's just way too much. And speaking of a person that does way too much, it brings me to Lily and the fact that she does too much. Like her, like asking Alan, is he attracted to her? Does he want to sleep with her? And why don't we just leave? It's like, baby, you're doing too much. And then her whole situation with Bobby, and even like it's like, to be honest, it's like y'all trying to bring Lily back, and I'm not feeling it. It's like, I'm not against you bringing Lily back, but I feel like if you bring a character back, you have to bring them back with sense. You have to bring them back with purpose. You can't bring them back for the sake of, oh, I just want them back. It's like, no, bro. Bring them back with the point. Bring them back with a plot. Bring them back with a real premise. And I feel like Lizzie's back for the sake of being back. Is it because we done ended a couple of folks? It's just like, what is we doing? Why is she here? Um, we finally get Sam to talk to Jason. They was able to get through the phone lines with the help of Max. Max told Sam, call Jason, make sure the lines don't go whatever. I guess that means he was able to call out or talk out or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he was able to. Sorry about that noise if you hear it. Sorry about that. Um, but he was able to call out, and Jason was able to ask like, "Are you with my dad? Am I safe?" Things of that nature, because his mom did try to end his life. I want to say what the hell he lied, but I don't want to lie either. So there's that. But yeah. Last but not least, on the whole episode of The Oval is Nancy. When I say I'm tired of talking about this child, I mean it. I'm tired of talking about it. So, of course, the episode starts in with, as the last episode we did, where Richard comes in the house, he pretty much chokes Nancy, and it took Sharon to knock him off of her. Dale tried to, but he elbowed Dale, and Sharon gets him off. I think it's because he wouldn't elbow Sharon because she is a woman. Like, in his mind, Nancy, yes, he understands that Nancy is a woman, but it's like, look at what you did to me. Like, he's not just going to attack a woman for the sake of attacking a woman. That's why I think he did not attack Shane. She was able to knock Richard off of her. And then she's like, oh, he going to jail. He going to jail. And I'm telling what he did with his daddy. Da da da. And she's talking crazy or whatever. And it's like, baby, did we not forget that you did this man like oh so dirty. Like, are we not? So we just gonna not. So we just not gonna remember these things. These things are just irrelevant when it comes to you. We're just gonna sit up here and be like, oh well, that doesn't matter. Like, what relevancy does that have? Like, I like I said, I'm tired of talking about it, so I'm just gonna move on. Anyway, next on the docket, Little Kev came out last week, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it immediately. It took me a couple days to watch it. I'm gonna say this: when it comes to Kevin Hart, I was more of a bigger fan of his when I was in high school. Not in high school, I'm a grown woman now. So I'm not like, oh, I don't like. I'm not one of those Kevin Hart bashers. I'm not gonna be one of them. But I will say this: sometimes I feel like Kevin Hart is more silly and goofy than actually comedically funny. That's just my opinion. I feel the same way about Tiffany Haddish. I feel like sometimes she's more silly and goofy than comedically funny. I feel like certain people are just comedically funny and they don't necessarily be silly or goofy. I feel like Cat Williams can be comedically funny, not necessarily goofy. I feel like the Wayans family, as silly as they can be, some of them are more silly, but I feel like they can still find the air of comedically funny. I feel like um, Dave Chappelle is as silly as he can be. I feel like he's still more comedically funny. But I will say this: I did watch it through. I watched it more than once to get a full scope, so I wasn't just like, oh, I don't, just coming crazy. One thing I will say, first thing about this, I didn't find it laugh out loud funny. Like I wasn't like, oh, like I wasn't laughing. I'll be lying if I say I was laughing. Did I find it amusing? Did I find it interesting? Certain parts, yes. But I wouldn't sit up and say I was just laughing and like butt gusting and crying. No, not one. 10 episodes, not one was I like, oh, that's funny. I did not find myself laughing. I did not find myself chuckling. Am I saying it is not funny? No. To somebody else, they might find it funny. It depends on what you find. Like I tell people, I work in an art museum. Art is subjective. His show is the art piece. It's subjective. What I may say is not laugh out loud funny. Somebody might have said they was crying laughing through every episode and they could barely make it. That just wasn't my ministry. Um, I do feel like it had a lot of shock and awe with a tinge and hint of message. So like the crack pipes being every other episode, or like the US government saying, crack a doodle doo. Like they literally coming out giving the feeding neighborhood crack, or like him trying to go swimming. And they like, he was like, I was gonna do a cannonball, and I was like, man, I'm about to do a ball, and proceed to do so. Like he's like, cause you see his dad and like his whole situation with his uncle, and like I do feel like certain instances was like a bit much, or even like Dirty Dante. It's like he represents a child that's not being fully taken care of, and his mama's doing the best she can. Like she's gambling. So like her mama, the Dirty Dante's mama is gambling to make money for Dirty Dante. And it's like, girl, you do understand that if you would have had a job, you wouldn't have to neglect this child to the point where he's getting bullied because he's snot nosed and he stank. Like the baby in his house lives in, like you live in a house where appliances and things that should work just don't work. And it's like, but you don't see that. That's not how you're looking at it. And it's just kind of like concerning a little bit. So there's that. Um, so I feel like they have more shock and awe. Like they want to get your attention. They want you to be like, what? Like, is you cool? Or what the heck did I just see? Like, I feel like they wanted that. Like even a politician that low key looked like Barack Obama. He kind of looked like Barack Obama. And the dude wasn't really for the community. He was just he just used them. He was like using being the was he a senator for them? But he used them as like a stepping stone so he could be a president. Like I just feel like that's what he was like. And then mind you, you have to be mindful. This is all based on like 1991, 1992. So like, cause it's supposed to be based on Kevin Hart's life, which is another thing I find interesting. It's based on Kevin Hart's life, but he's not the creator. Excuse me. It's two whole other people that are the creator. If I'm alive and I'm gonna be the star of something and I'm gonna voice an animation show or an animated show about my life, I'm gonna be the darn creator. You're not gonna create the life story of Angelina, and I'm not the one of the creators, and I'm the voice and the star. And it's named after me. Mm. Moving on. Um, One thing I will say, he also he had a good voice acting cast. Like he had a lot of comedians in the show. Like Miss Pat, to me, she did make me laugh. She was really funny. But I love Miss Pat. Like her voice is just funny. And come to find out, I didn't realize her voice was funny until she did voice over work. And she's Dirty Dante's mom. She's Tiki, but she's Dirty Dante's mom. And just like she would come on the scene, like now I'm smiling because like she'll come on the scene and just start talking. I'm like, all right, bro, like chill out. Like she is funny to me. She is like the first episode you see her, it's like so Wanda Sykes is also on the show who I love. I like I'm just gonna name some of the people that's on the show that like it's just like dope. Like when I say the cast was amazing, the cast was amazing. Like this is one of the strongest points of the show. I feel like writing could have probably been a little bit better. But the cast y'all had, y'all got a dope cast. Just write it a little bit better so that could move maneuver a little bit better. Okay, so this the cast. The mama, so of course Kevin Hart is Lil Kev. He's himself. The mama is Wanda Sykes. The lunch lady and the grandmama is Loretta Devine. Tiki, who is Dirty Dante, who's the child I just named, is Miss Pat. His uncle is Dion Cole. The mama's best friend, who is Loretta, is just hilarious. Um, now the mama's co-worker Marisol is Angelia Johnson. Who else? Come on, I get mad because come on, I'm not. Oh, it's like these two gay dudes. One of them in prison. He the tall, dark skinned dude with the crop top. That's Afion Crockett. Then you got Cree Summers. For those who do not know who Cree Summers are, if you ever watched A Different World, she was Freddie. She voiced Susie. She voiced number 5. If you are a millennial, she voiced your childhood. She voiced your childhood. That's all I got for you, baby. Cree Summers voiced like 3 separate characters, but Gerald is his best friend, the fat one. She voiced him. She voiced an old concert slut. She voiced Lonnie, a little girl that he wanted, and when his parents was playing spades, and she voiced somebody else. Like she done voiced like 3, 4 characters on the show. Some of them did voice a multitude of characters, but when I say the cast is really, really good, the cast is really, really good. Like you gonna listen to them like, wait, I know that voice. Oh wait, that person sound familiar. So it's like that's the cast is great. I just feel like the writing could be a little bit better. And just speaking of that, like I feel like the dad and the uncle was a little bit unnecessary sometimes. Like the dad was just like, come on, you was just unnecessary, like drunk, an unnecessary drug addict. And it's like, I get it. You're a drug addict. I get it. But it's like, bro, chill out sometimes. That's just how I felt like, chill out sometimes. And then the uncle, everything was said with your chest. And then they did it with their chest. Like, what? What? She said it with her breast. And it was just like, excuse me? It's just sometimes to say it with the chest, like we get it, or even the dad sometimes was like, Sue, like he didn't say Sue Woo. He almost sounded like he was saying Sue Woo, but he wasn't. He was like Sue Wee, or he had some weird little like tagline. And it was like, I do not like. I'm with Tony Baker when I say this. I do not like when you force a tagline or try to make a tagline, try to force a catchphrase. I cannot stand it. Catch phrases are quotables that naturally catch on. That's what makes a catchphrase. When somebody naturally says something, they're known for saying something, it naturally catches on and then it becomes a catchphrase. It becomes a quotable. And then there was like trying to force the dad to have one like see me or some weird sound he was making. And then of course, all right, all right, all right. And then like Uncle said with your chest, they said it with their breast and feel it. It's like, bruh, no, no. That was unnecessary. I feel like sometimes we have to understand that if you're doing a craft for a long enough time, you should be better at your craft. Kevin Hart, technically, been doing this for 20 years. Yeah, y'all. He's been doing this for 20 to 25 years. He just didn't take off until about 10 years. until like 2011, which is 14 years ago. We should be better. And then, like I said, they did this based this on his life. Negro ain't even one of the creators, so I don't understand this. But overall, if I had to give the show a rating, which I did decide to rate the show, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Not the greatest rating, but not the worst. Like I will say this, the way they put it out, the main things that's working for it, to be honest, in my opinion, is the fact that the cast. That's the best thing for like you got, like I said, you got one of the sites. You got Avion Crockett, you got Miss Pat, you got Loretta Devine, you got Chris Summers, you got of course Kevin Hart, you got Dion Cole, you got um Angelia Johnson, you got such a multitude of characters, and I feel like I'm missing some people. I know I am. I just can't think of everybody right now. But you got so many characters, and it's like, oh my gosh, you hit that person. I know that person, and then it make you, oh, even the girl that sung from American Idol, like she sings very powerful, but her voice is very squeaky. She's Riri, like, cause you'll hear her, I'm like, wait, I know that voice. Like, it's really like dope. Like, I'm just saying, like, it'll make you want to look up the cast. So that's when you know you got a good cast. And people start like, I know this person, and they want to start to Google who they looking at, want to learn their name for real. So that's the best thing working for is the cast. I feel like the writing could be better. That's just my opinion. It's the first season. I never expect for the first season to be your best season. I do expect for your first season to be the season that needs the most improvement. It's your first season. You just putting it out. One thing I will say that's also working for it is the way they put it out. They did not make nobody wait week for week for this. And people had to wait week, sorry, week after week for this. I feel like the show would have failed. And I watched it climb. That was one of the things that made me watch it was I watched it climb up the trending shows. I watched it do that, and it's still, and I think the top five, definitely in the top 10, but almost in the top five, is doing pretty good yet, and still it's been out for an entire week. So I will say this. It's doing pretty good. It's not a bad show. Like I said, I watched it more than once. I watched it twice. So it's not like, oh my gosh, it's trash. Oh my gosh, you don't want to watch this. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not that. It just it's certain times you're like, but it's an animation as well. So excuse me, it's not live action, so it's not like they're acting it out, anything of that nature. It's an animation, so sometimes when you do animation, you have to be more dramatic or more theatrical than you would have normally been. Like I said, I give it a 6 out of 10. Once again, sorry if you hear the background. If you hear, I do apologize for that. Um, so I give it that. Moving on to the last but not least, one of the things that I'm just like kind of excited to talk about is Sistas season 8 finale, which Sistas will be returning July 16th. And in lieu of that, speaking of that, I will not, after this episode, I will actually be taking a 2 month, I'm sorry, 3 month hiatus. I won't be back until like June 19th, June 20th, something like that. I'll be back a month before Sistas because I have some episodes I want to do before Sistas are back. Sistas got renewed by a ninth season. By the renewed by ninth season, they will officially have 200 episodes. Will make them in the category of a long running show, which is a very, very good thing. Whenever a show can be deemed able, when you have hundreds with an S of episodes, you are deemed a long running show. So yes, that's really, really good because that will be deemed a long running show. They've been on the air officially in real time, 5-6 years, nine seasons, 200 episodes. They're gonna have 201 by the time season 9 ends. So that's just a blessing all in itself. And shout out to the Sistas cast for that. But anyway, let's talk about what actually happened on the season 9 finale. First up, even the way it opened, like if y'all been listening, I know I've said this before. I don't like Sabrina, yo. And if I haven't said it, I'm saying it here right now. I don't like her. I don't. I thought I didn't like Karen. I don't always care for Karen in the way she maneuvers. I can't say it. I don't like Sabrina. That child, I can't stand that girl. I can't stand her because she's the type to throw a rock and hide her hand. So Sabrina decides to break up with the Rich. This is how meanwhile, Rich comes in the girl house, right? Calvin in the house. She done told Calvin about his sperm situation. When I say she told Maurice, she told the girls, she told Pam, she told Paige. She don't even like Paige. And she told Paige about Rich's sperm situation. She told any and everybody with a legitimate ear. She told Damani. I just can't when it comes to her. Like, why did you tell? Meanwhile, Rich only told one person. Technically two. He told Penelope and he told Jordan. That was it. I don't even think Tony knows. Tony might know because Danny might have told him what to say. Meanwhile, when Danny found out, shoot, them two broke off like they separated. They ain't never break up, but they separated for a month. So Tony might not know. And if he does, then if he does, Rich told three people. She told any and everybody with an audible ear. She might have told some folks with an inaudible ear that about his current situation. It's like, girl, why are we doing this? Like, no, but seriously, why are we doing this? Because I'm confused and don't quite frankly understand for real. So she breaks it off with him, pretty much saying, like, you didn't consider how that made me feel that you ran off, that you this and you that. Girl, he told you at the dinner table that he wants to make a baby with you no matter what in real time. And you use his sperm. And you told him, no, you don't want to do that. Meanwhile, in episode 7 2, you was trying to trap this Negro and didn't care about no eventually and about no fertilizing no eggs and nothing. That came after that man low-key rejected you. And then you told him, well, I already used the money sperm. And he said, that'll break my heart. She well, I already used his sperm. Then he walked off and you went to Turks and Caicos with the money. But he in the wrong somehow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My math is just it's off. Apparently, I can't count, nor do I know how to do basic equations or formulas because that math ain't mathing to me. How do you get pregnant or let your eggs be fertilized by another man in the middle of your relationship and think the man that you're currently with is gonna be like, have you met men? Have you met men? Moving on. Speaking of that. So Miss Penelope turned out to be the Sloppy Seconds Award winner of the year. Y'all, if y'all had ugly sounds in the background, I do apologize. It is the sound effects that I do not ask for in the background. And if y'all hear them, I do apologize. And if you don't, I'm glad you don't hear them. They just bothering me. So I'm just apologizing because I hear them. So I'm just assuming you do. Anyway, back to Penelope. And any future sounds as well, I'm just going to ignore them and not acknowledge them. So I do apologize if you hear any sounds from this moment forth or any sounds you heard previously to this moment. But anyway, back to Penelope. Sis want to be Sloppy Seconds McGee because first you in the one episode, like sis didn't waste no time. So first you kiss Robin because you had felt some way about Andi. Because first you hugged them at the law firm. This was after Andi won their settlement. And then you went to get your brother bailed out and you kissed him. Excuse me. You kissed him. And when you kissed him, he was like, man, I can't do this. You want Andi. Yes, you knew this. Then by the end of the episode, you go and try to hop on Rich. When you did ain't no try. You successfully hopped on Rich. I gotta get to you. Then Sabrina walks in and drops the box and she mad. Now this is the one thing I don't comprehend. Sabrina, why you mad? Didn't you just break up with him? Then he got you in the house with another man? And then not only that, Then you get allow your eggs to get fertilized by another man, and then you pretty much let that man walk away from you not once, not twice, but what, 3 times so he keep crying, and when his heart broken, and you didn't care, girl, gone on. But Penelope is just like, girl, I'm gonna say this. And I noticed something. She never did that with Tony. Why she think about it? Danny and Tony were separate for an entire month. She never tried Tony. That girl don't want to see Danny. That's just my opinion. I digress. But yeah, Penelope, baby was on some different type of time. I didn't know she was. I didn't know she was gonna be the slut bucket. Because people love to say Danny's a slut bucket, but I'm like, baby, you're sleeping with men that, or entertaining men or kissing on men or purposely coming after men you know want other women. Like, you know this. Like, you're not slow. Like, Gary, I give you that grace you didn't know. But Robbie, what you know? And then it's like, girl, what you got against the sister circle? Why you attacking the sister circle? Because this is personal at this point. So what is we doing? Okay, cool. Then we got hallelujah. Hallelujah. So Karen goes to Fatima. So Fatima invites Karen over because, as you know, Miss Marie gave Pam, Aaron, because Aaron became the business partner. Pam, Aaron, and Karen an incentive bonus, like, hey, y'all make so much sales, when y'all increase the sales by X amount of sales or dollars or whatever, I'm going to give you an incentive bonus. This is that third. Aaron signs, Pam signs, Karen ain't signed yet. So Karen's like, look, yeah, I forgot, da 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 da. Can I just sign a hard copy because I couldn't get to work on my phone? Aaron's supposed to, but he didn't get a chance to. So Tim was like, girl, yeah, just forget about that. Just come over my house. She's like, is it cool? She's like, yeah, it's cool. First of all, Karen, baby, just because Fatima invited you over, don't mean you could just walk in. You have to text, say you outside. Let the door be open unto you. That's the point I'm making. So she come in. Now at the same time, Fatima's kind of worried about what's going on with Andi. And she's starting to send Zach out to see what's going on with that because they both work. So Karen comes in. She finally signs the thing, or starting to sign a little document. And she's like, my whip broke. And Fatima's like, not on my kitchen floor. Not on my kitchen. Something along those lines, like not on my kitchen floor, not in my kitchen or in my kitchen, like something along those lines, like I know not here. And she's like, yeah, like what? And she's like, I'm just, cause so, one thing I noticed, and one thing that caught my attention, caught a lot of people attention on Twitter, X, or whatever the heck you want to call it. It was like she kept on like, call that, call that, call that. Mm-mm. You mean call Aaron? You mean call your mama? You mean call Jesus? Because I'm just saying, why we calling that anyway? The point is, Karen's her water finally breaks. She's finally in labor at this point. I'm gonna be honest with you. We ain't got to see the labor. Just see the night. Do at times people she breastfeeding 2 kids. I don't. I don't care. I don't want to see the labor. I just want them human beings outside of her. She's been pregnant in real time for 3 solid years, bro. That's not even a joke. That's realistic. She's been pregnant for 2.5, 3 years in real human time, bro. That's not even a joke. That's not even. Oh, I'm trying to be funny. She's been pregnant since the end of season 3. Season 3 came out what, 21, 22? Because season 4 came out in 22. So season 3, yes, yeah, she's been pregnant for 3.5. The girl been pregnant for 3 solid years. That's not even a joke. That's not even me trying. I'm gonna be funny. No, the girl been pregnant in real time for 3 years and been pregnant for almost for 5.5 seasons. Girl, I just must be humans. I don't care. Next is so a couple of people we found out who they truly were. So we finally found out who stabbed Carrie. One of the persons who was a part of it was Mr. Oswald Hudson. Didn't know that boy name was Oswald. When I hear Oswald, I think of the penguin because I think his name is Oswald. I want to say it is. It's some Oswald or Oswald something is the penguin. It kind of fit. And it was like supposedly made fun of him in high school. He had a vendetta against Gary since high school. It's like, dang, Gary, you've been a menace all your life, huh? That's that's a shame. that's that's kind of sad. Like all your life you've been a menace. Like some people turn into a menace eventually. This Negro, I guess, was born one at this point. And then come to find out we found out who's Samson officially, which is the same person that abducts Andi. So Andi gets in her car, somebody put like chloroforms her, and when they chloroform her, they bring her to Gary's office and we found out it's Jasmine, which by the way, Jasmine looked good. She looked amazing. And she pretty much said, like, I'm gonna end y'all because I tried to end you. I shot you with rubber bullets, because you did the rubber bullets that didn't work. Excuse me, sorry. And I tried to stab you. You a cockroach, you won't go. Then I tried to put air bubbles in your IV. I had dude put fentanyl as cocaine. You still here. Like I'm tired of you. Like we've been trying to get rid of you. So which makes sense because Andy and Gary did Jasmine so dirty. Like if you think about it, Andy knew from the day she met Gary he was married. He said to her, "If I was not married," he admitted that to her. And when she saw him again, she consistently pursued him. I've been with a man, if he looked like he like a woman too strong, let alone if he's married with a family. Like, are you serious? Baby, they did her wrong and then somehow Andy became the victim. Don't understand. So yeah. And that didn't work the way Jasmine thought because Hudson ended up ending her. She was talking and Hudson was like, she getting on my nerve. And he was like, pew pew and ended her. Man, shot homegirl across the room. Crazy. He ended her, and that was that on that. And then, what's that baby name? Zach came in, and when Zach came in, he came in, and all we heard was pew pew pew, and we heard pew pew pew, and then we just didn't know because Zach, as well as Gary, tried to knock the gun outside of Hayden's hand, which in my opinion, I believe the only person got hurt for real was Hayden. I maybe Gary too, because I ain't gonna lie, they got rid of Rich. They been got rid. Jordan is gone. Jordan, I don't see him. Rich is we probably gonna deal with Rich because Sabrina loves drama. Uh, and we're gonna keep that going, but he's pretty much gone. Swamon is gone. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but yeah, I think just pretty much Hudson, maybe even Gary, because all the originals are gone for the most part, except for Henry. Last but not least, so as we all know, that the last episode ended with what it ended with, but it had the cliffhanger of Tony proposing to Danny, Danny looking at the ring, saying, "Let me see it again." So it almost looked as if was she going to marry him? Was she going to be engaged to him? What was she considering? And her and Sabrina talking with Sabrina was like packing up Rich's things, and she's like, I love him down. I'm shocked I'm still together because Jordan and Andy broke up. You and Rich done broke up. I'm shocked me and Tony still together, baby. I love him down. That's my man. That's my man. And then her man came in. She was like, "Oh my girl, here got my man come. I got an insane with no draws." But she did. I do love that Danny told Sabrina the truth. Sabrina was like, "Yeah, our relationship went downhill since I told my mom the baby." She said, "No, no, 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 no. Your relationship went downhill ever since you told that man, ever since you decided to let another man fertilize your egg and you thought that man was just gonna be cool with that in the middle of your relationship. That's when your relationship started to go downhill." I love that she checked on that. Like, girl, I'm not gonna let you sit up here and feed these lies, and I'm not gonna sit up here and let you live these lies. Like, we just gonna have to be honest about some stuff. You gonna let another man fertilize your egg, you invited everybody to come to it, including him. You thought it was cool. You thought it was sweet. So then, of course, she had the keys jingling. She know Tony's coming home. She's like, "Girl, here come my man. I got to show him no dog, just playing." And she was like, "Girl, in my business." Tony come in. Tony comes in, not happy. Now, mind you, this is the same day as the 7th. They got to pay Danny about $80,000. Y'all got to remember, they got to pay Danny thousands of dollars. Because I don't care where the heck you work. If you work for a full month, you make at least, you make about $2,000. Atlanta, you make about $2,000 a month. So, and then they got to pay 75,000. So they got to pay that girl either, and man, please. They got to pay her close to $80,000. That's something they don't want to do. Somebody got to pay for that. Somebody got to pay for that. And to be honest, this was Joker. And I think that's why he wanted to propose to her. Because I think he did that to save himself. I think that's why he came random proposal. Because I think if he proposed to her and they was engaged, possibly even married, they couldn't have done nothing to him. Because it probably would have been harder to do something to him because now we're married. He's the VP, he knows the balance. But since they're just boyfriend and girlfriend, oh, well, I can just separate y'all. So sure enough, Danny's like, "What's going on? Did they fire you?" He's like, "No, they didn't fire me." She was like, "Well, what's going on?" They transferred me to Alaska. So then it's like, "Past Canada, what you gonna do? What we gonna do?" I'm gonna say this, y'all. I think Danny and Tony are done. I think Tanny is done. No, I do not think Preston is coming back to sister. So y'all let that go. But when Preston gets to come in, no, that Negro staying on the team. Leave him over there. But I will say this: I think I'm actually welcoming her and Tony being done. Even though I really like their relationship. I'm like, oh, God damn it. I liked her with Preston, but I realized Preston and her didn't work. They were not good together. They just were not good together. Her and Tony actually were a lot better together, but it once you start to grow and heal, you got to think about it. When she met him, she needed to grow and heal. She started to grow and heal. So now she's surpassing him in a lot of ways. He don't know how to deal with that. Danny now needs to finish growing and healing or getting further in her growth in her healing to the point where when she meet a man and get with a man, she's more elevated. I think it's like she was on level 1 when she met him. Still on level 4 or 5 now. He might be only on level 3. Let's say he was on level 3, she was on level 1. He was like, "Come on, come and fit to me." She ended up on level 4 or 5. She surpassed him. That's just how I feel. And I feel like now she also needs a man where he don't know she got money. He don't even know that. She needs to get out that one bedroom. She needs to get out that studio, get a 1 bedroom. She already got another car, so that ain't the problem. I already got her a new car. Get her another bedroom. Get her at least a 1 bedroom apartment. It is just her. She don't need She don't need the whole works. But I feel like she needs that. And then, of course, because now her wardrobe is better. She does have a job there where she pay better benefits. They probably not gonna mess with her too tough because of the fact they already took it out on him. And the man don't know she got money. And then she just heal and grow some more. I'm season 9. I would like to see Danny without a man. Like, if the man ain't Tony, I would like to see her without a man. That's just my opinion. And I think that's what it should be. And I think that if they do decide to give her a man, I think it should be sometime in season 10, like how in season 4, she kind of was by herself. She did deal with Logan a little bit, but for the most part, she was pretty much by herself. And I would like to see that again. That's just my opinion. I will say this in season 9, we will be getting a Danny that we're not used to because this is going to be a brand new Danny. We have never seen Danny with money, and we never truly seen Danny without a man. When we first met her, she had problems with Jerome. And then even after that, she ended up with Preston. And then after that, we had the James, the Fuego, the Logan, the Jonah, Q, Tony. Like, and then after Tony was like the last one. So we just seen her have flings or have other men. And it's like, I would like to see the girl with nobody. I want her with nobody. I would like to see her with a female coworker that she get cool with. Like how Andi got Fatima. That's just what I want. That's just my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong for that. You know? That's just me. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for enjoying the reviews. Like I said, I am going to go on a hiatus for the next 3 months. So I will not be coming back until June. That's been my tidbit on the Oval episode 16, the complete first season of Lil Kev, as well as Sistas season 8 finale. Thank you so much for enjoying this podcast. I will be, like I said, I'll be gone for the next 3 months. Y'all, thank you so much. Okay, bye.